Hello YouTube, this is Froogle, and here's a really novel slant for a Froogle's hangar. I'm in a train! A number of you have asked for me to do a train simulator, and of course we've got Dovetail's Train Simulator 2000NX. It changes every year. But this one just got released. This is Trainz A New Era. Now it's a bit of a mix, it's a bit of a hodgepodge. I'll get the analysis kind of out of the way straight first of all. In some areas it seems to be a mix between the old Trainz game, sim, and the models from it, and the new one. The new one is a 64-bit engine, it's a custom-built environmental engine, custom-built everything. The new trains, like I think this is one of the new ones, are actually really good. Lots of fun. The old trains, though, look really basic. It is a sim, although I don't know very much about trains at all, and I certainly don't know how to drive a steam train, so I have it in stupid idiot mode. Now, idiot mode, I'm calling it idiot mode, and I'm using it, so I'm calling myself an idiot. Please don't get offended. Idiot mode really simplifies everything and basically gives you a speed control, which is this, and the ability to stop and decouple and play with the horn, which is all kinds of fun. Advanced mode, though, puts it into a full sim. Watch, the train's going to brace you if I do this. I'll try it. If we click up here, we click on quick drive. We have easy mode, which I'm in, or realistic mode. If I click on realistic mode, notice up here now we're seeing the brake pipe pressure, brake cylinder pressure, main reservoir pressure, equalizer brake, all these controls down here for which gear you're in, the independent brake, the locomotive brake, all sorts of really confusing stuff, and my train is now slowing down because I don't know what I'm doing. I'll put it back in easy mode. So it is a sim, just I don't know how to do the sim bit, alright, so bear that in mind. It's actually pretty cool though. What they've done here is they've just, it's a game or a sim. I'm going to call it intermittently game and sim. It's a game sim application that is just designed to appeal to train enthusiasts. People like my dad would love this. There is even a model train mode. You can build your own train set, and there is a train set in here which is a model train set, and you can take control of the model trains. And obviously using a simplified control interface like this is ideal for model trains, because that's what you have when you're driving model trains. Right now I'm supposed to be going to somewhere called Thurmond, and I have to uncouple this mighty beast. You'll see it's a big old long American train. Look, huge amount of carriages here. I can change the camera. There's a camera view up here. I can go interior. Like I said, this is one of the newer trains, I think, and it actually looks really quite spiffy inside. The older models are quite jarring. Once you accidentally jump into a train that I think is from a previous version of Trainz with a Z, it's really quite ugly and hideous, but this one actually looks good, really good. And all these controls work if you go into advanced mode. You can grab these levers and these ones and rotate stuff. It's very cool. There is a, what is this? There is a chase view, which is that one. And I can spin that around with the right mouse. Now, by the way, performance has been a mixed bag as well. I have a fairly beefy machine, as many of you know, and I've turned everything down to high. Everything was on ultra, but as soon as you get into an environment like this with weather, then things can really go through the floor. I've actually got to slow down in 5 miles. My speed limit's going to change. Need to be aware of that. So that's the chase view. We also have something called line side, which realistically doesn't do much different to chase view. There was a way of moving the camera. I can't find it. Oh, coupler strain. Oh no, I pressed the wrong key. I knocked my speed off. There we go. Let's put it back up there. Okay, great. There is a free roaming view. There. Bye-bye train. Oh god. With free roaming view, if you hold the right mouse button down, you basically zip around the world, which is very disconcerting. And we have a map view, which shows us everything that's going on in the world that we're in. There it is. Now, all this was built with the game's inbuilt scenery editor, which is very cool. If you are a train nut, one of the kind that has their own model train set, or always did, and always wanted one, you're going to love this. You can actually build anything. There's a car, look. The scenery outside, the scenery engine is also pretty good as well. When you're stationary in certain weather conditions, you'll see trees swaying in the breeze. As you go through tunnels with a steam train like this, the smoke wraps around the tunnel. It doesn't kind of go through it as other sims might do. You can see it here. It's very organic looking smoke. Look, it's all billowing behind us. It's very cool. I'm kind of enjoying it. Now, although I'm not very into trains, I do actually find them quite relaxing to mess around with, although I really don't know what I'm doing. And I got the Dovetail one, Train Simulator 2000 and whatever, a few years ago, and I've upgraded it ever since, and I drop in now and then, but it's never really got anything that holds my long-term attention. I'm an aircraft nut more than a train nut. I gotta tell you though, I got this last week. I put 4 hours into it, which I didn't expect to put into it. You know, I thought it would be a now and then kind of diversion, but it's actually quite addictive. I've been working through all the tutorials, which guide you through this simplified interface and then through the more complex interface all the way up to this is how you drive a steam train, which is crazy hard. And they're really quite engrossing, so I've been shunting freight all over the place. I got a couple of strain here, and I don't know why. I'm just trying to slow down a bit. I think it's because of my momentum, and I'm slowing down a little bit too savagely. I think that's what's going on. You can get some really cool shots out of this as well. If you're using the new environment and the new train like this, look, you get some really quite dramatic train shots. There we go. Steam train porn. It's really quite pleasing. That's a really nice shot. I'm quite digging it. But like I said, it's a mixed bag. It's not anywhere near, I think, as polished as, say, Dovetail's Train Simulator, but it has a lot of stuff going for it. So the mission that I'm in right now is a quick drive, or no, it's not, it's a scenario. There are quick drives as well. I'm going to get out of this and show you all the different ways and things that you can do with this. So I'm going to exit driver. Now there are some interminable delays as you move from section to section, as you will see. So we're just trying to go back to the menu here. I did click don't save, but now we wait. Okay, that was pretty quick. You'll find as we go into other scenarios, it can take a long time. And the user interface here is not the friendliest thing in the world at all. What you have is you've got driving tutorials. Here's the driving tutorials, learn to drive. So the train brake, the dynamic brake, how to control a steam train. You can see I've been through most of them. So all the way from the basics all the way up to the really advanced stuff. Let's skip out of that and go back to the main game. In here you have the routes. Now I got the deluxe edition, which comes with a ton of DLC included. So there's a lot of DLC here, which if you buy the cheaper one you won't get. I really think if you're into Trainz with an S, then you really should consider looking at Trainz with a Z deluxe version with all the DLC, because there's not that much to do without the DLC, to be honest. But anyway, here's the model trains. Look at this. The Bidyi Traction Railway. Now, you're going to be using the simplified controls here to simulate a model railway. And if I double click that, now you have choices. So we can have an Explorer, which explores the model rail track that's been laid down, Easy Street, Freight Train, Steam Shift, 'Twas a Dark and Lonely Night, Unstructured Multiplayer. Yes, there is multiplayer in this. And leave me a comment in the comment section below if you are a Trainz with an S nut. Why on earth would you want multiplayer? I mean, you're not going to do formation training, are you? You kind of go one way and the other person goes the other way. I don't get the multiplayer side of it because I don't have anyone to do multiplayer with. I really should have reached out to Alex, actually, from Code Zero. By the way, the Northern Alex has a wonderful channel, and he covers a lot of sim stuff, or is more and more sim stuff and strategy stuff, and he started doing a series on this. You really should check it out. I'll leave a link to his channel in the show notes below. I'm going to do quick drive and show you what is up here. So if I do quick drive, double click, here is one of the interminable delays. The model train set is actually a fairly small scenery, so it doesn't take that long to load, but you saw there's quite a wait, and if you're switching parts of the world, then it actually gets a lot more extensive. So now it's telling me, quick drive, I can change pretty much anything. I can choose the train, I was going to say aircraft, choose the train that I want to drive on the left, and I can change other stuff as well in here. So control type, realistic or easy mode, great. Environment, I can change the weather and change the time, which is kind of cool. So derailment mode, we can go all the way up to realistic, or arcade mode, or none. So we'll go realistic. Game time rate, we can speed up or slow down the game. We'll leave that normal. I can change the time of day here. I don't know if this is real time as I change it. So let's put in something like 2200 and apply new time. Oh, look, it is real time. That's kind of cool. You can see here it's using that free roaming camera mode where if I right click, I change what I'm looking at. These are all points that you can switch over, by the way. You actually have full control of those. So you can really take your model train set fantasies to their absolute limit with this, you know, switching switches and tracks and all sorts of stuff. There are even AI trains in this that you need to be aware of and interact with. Nice station here, pretty cool. Let's put it back to a pleasant 7 AM in the morning. Early morning light. We can change the weather mode to be occasional changing or frequently changing. We'll put no change. I can change the weather type, cloudy, drizzle, rainy day, stormy, snow, medium snow, and heavy snow. Bit of a whiteout. We'll put it back to just basic, I think. Clear. Now, the trains. Open the new train place. So these are the trains that I can go and drive on this track. That's quite a lot. All the Kickstarter backer ones in here as well. This was actually a Kickstarter. Trainz A New Era, a rewrite of the old Trainz platform, was actually a Kickstarter project. Let's choose something suitable, I think, for this model train set. A Hinton CO Kanawha freight train. That looks a lot of fun. Just click on it, and then you click on the track, and you have a little bit of a delay, and then there you go. So all you need to do now, you can actually reverse this as well, look. Now it's back to front, and I'll put it back the right way. Pretty cool. All you need to do now is make you be this person down here. So we'll click on that and go, there we go. That, we'll get rid of the quick drive, go away. It's telling me how to bring it back. I am now in control, and I'm in simplified mode, so all I have is speed control. And away I go. And just in the interest of tooting my own horn. Pretty good stuff. The model train set. Every little boy's dream model train set. Look at this. Incredibly detailed. These switches and lovely things to play with. It's actually pretty good fun. And there's actually, look, you're actually on a table. You can't move the camera to look completely under the table, but you are on a table. Amazing. Okay, let's get out of this silliness. We'll go back to the main menu. I want to show you the route builder. Now, I have all the artistic ability of a wet sponge, so I'm not very artistic. I don't do sceneries and repaints and all that kind of stuff, but this is actually pretty neat. Create a route here. So new route, we're not going to do anything. I can set the scale, by the way. Real scale, O scale, double O scale. So these are models, which is kind of cool. Model train sets. Done. Now you get this odd looking grid, which is the world as we know it. And I can bring up the topology here, and I can bring up a topology tool, and you'll see there's a radius pointer here. Sorry, a little area that I'm going to affect. And what I can do is I can decrease the radius, so make it smaller, or I can make it substantially larger, and I can increase or decrease the sensitivity, so I'm going to make it very insensitive. And look, I'm just going to quickly tap here. You see notice it's starting to raise the land. If you increase the sensitivity, then it will raise the land substantially faster, and you start ending up looking at mountains. So you can change all of that, which is pretty cool. Bit of a dip there. Oh, actually, that dip would be good. Maybe we can put a reservoir in there or something. See, I'm exercising my creative mind now. And what I can do to exercise that further is go up here to paint. And look, we have paint here for animus river texture. There's tons of different textures in here, which are very, very nice. Different types of gravel and rock and roads and all sorts of loveliness. Let's go ahead and find some water. Where would the water be? Aha, that water. Is that water? DHR water. All right. So this is now officially a reservoir. So let's change the scale. Is that working at all? No. Oh, I'm messing with the wrong one. I need to be messing with the radius here. So reduce that down. Oh, now we've got some water. Kind of cool. Let's make this a bit bigger. See if we can make that. Okay, great. So now I want to surround it with grasses. All sorts of grassland, green and sunny hills of England. There we go, England's green and pleasant hills. I'm not sure that lake is very convincing, but you get the idea. So I've got some grassland in here now. And obviously being a trains sim, it would be nice to be able to put some track down that we can drive trains on. So we can go over here to the track and we can choose all different kinds of track. I never even knew there are that many different types of track, but actually there are. So we're going to put some oak tracks down. We have a particularly expensive railway that we're building today. And then we can just click. Whoa, I did that wrong. Click and nothing. Hang on. There we go. I'm not doing very well here. There we go. Click and then move your mouse. And it will be very smart as well at putting in curves where there should be curves. It's pretty cool. So you can build your train set however you wish without any spouses or bank managers complaining. What else can we do? We can put buildings in here. So I can put a parking station. Let's put a parking... There's a parking station. That's kind of lame. How about a coal pile? That's even more lame. How about a 2-car brick garage? That looks lovely. So we're going to zoom in, and we're going to plop that right about there. And obviously, there are controls, which I'm not using, which let you rotate objects. There we go. I actually did that very wrong, so I have 2 objects. Let's go and delete one. That one. Go away. Okay, so now I can rotate this object, I think. There we are. And position it however I want it to be positioned. So let's put it beside the track there. And maybe I can move it somehow. How does one move? How does one move? How does one move? There we are. The move key, M. There we go. You can see it's very, very quick and easy to place all this stuff down. I'm actually getting carried away here. I can put some beehives down. Very lovely. How very rural is that? Beehives. There we go. Bunches of beehives. But as you can see, you've got a lot of flexibility here in terms of how you build up your train set, be it a model one or a replica of the real world. This tool is actually very powerful. I think if I had the inclination and the ability, the design and artistic smarts, I could probably recreate any track that I wanted to just by referring to topology maps and even Google satellite imagery and recreate your favorite route. It doesn't take a lot of effort at all. In fact, you can even go in here. Look, sorry, I'm getting carried away. But you can even go in here somewhere. Where are you? Is it in there? It's in there. Look, we scroll this down. I seem to recall seeing a mass of trees. And I can't see them right now. But there were a mass of trees. And they're lovely. And you can put trees absolutely everywhere. And all sorts of cool stuff like that. I'm actually really having a lot of fun with this. I can't find anything now. That's useless. I'm doing terribly. Look, there's so many things in here. It's absolutely insane. It really is bonkers. Let's put a car in here. There we go. Anyway, let's get out of this. I want to show you the tutorial. So we're going to do exit surveyor. We won't save my awful track. The tutorials are very extensive. As I said, they walk you through the simple controls and also the more complex ones. So to round out this video, I think I'm going to go and do one of the tutorial sessions that I've already done. I just need to pick one. What is this one? What is this? Okay. That doesn't tell me anything. Okay, so having done the tutorials, it's now not giving me any useful help about what tutorials do what. So let's go ahead and choose... an introduction to loading and unloading freight, which takes 10 minutes. Let's do that one. Play tutorial. And you'll see how these tutorials work. My overall summary, before we dive into this tutorial though, because we have an interminable wait now, is it's actually really good. Although it's very basic in some areas because it's using legacy models for trains and things like that, it's actually really good and really engrossing, and I'm having a good time with it. And I've got to say, I'm having more fun with this than I have with Dovetail's Train Simulator. That's not in any way a detraction of Dovetail's Train Simulator, just that I'm having more fun with this. This is more entertaining. Take that as you will, given that I'm not a train nut. I'm sure the train nuts among you will tell me why this one is completely awful and Microsoft Train Simulator is amazing. I don't care. I'm having more fun with this. Okay, often during a session you will be required to load and unload freight at points along the way. In this tutorial you will be loading lumber at the mill for delivery to another industry. Start your train slowly forward when ready. So I can do this by clicking and dragging, or I can just click on a position and it will rotate there. So this is forward, left is backwards, and obviously, as I keep saying, there are full realistic controls for you to use as well. This, by the way, is one of the old trains. I'm fairly sure this is one of the legacy trains. So if I drop into the cab here, look, actually this might be one of the new ones, but it does look a little basic, a little bit sparse. See, these textures are not very good, not really very good at all. But that's not the point. The point is to drive trains, which is what I'm doing. Stop at the nav point to load lumber. Okay, so there are, in these tutorials and some of the missions, you have these nav points. That's where you need to be. Kind of like driving over the highlighted area in Grand Theft Auto, to be honest, to accomplish a goal. So we're just going to go chuff, chuff, chuff all the way down here and stop at the load lumber point by reducing back here to 0 and pressing stop, which applies brakes as well, I think. Look at these trees here, gently moving in the breeze. See, stuff like that. There are glimpses of greatness in this. There really are. It's a wonderful engine. Graphically, the graphics engine and the environment engine is absolutely superb. They just need to make more use of it, and I hope that they do. I can see from everything I've read that they plan to support this for a long time and grow it and add DLC, obviously, and also encourage the community. There's a forklift truck picking up wood. That's awesome. Look at that. Okay, let's start slowing down. Our current speed is 7. This train slows down really quite too rapidly for my liking. But the big trains, when they're loaded up with all their freight and everything else, they do take a realistically long time. There we go. Stop. We have loaded the lumber. I think. Oh, no. I'm too far back. It didn't load that one. I gotta go forward, so we'll go forwards a bit more. My bad. There we are. So the lumber has been successfully loaded. You now have to go to St. Nicholas main yard. Path has been set for you. So I don't need to mess with doing all the switches. They're all going to be done for me. In many of the other training missions, you're actually doing the switches as well and reversing and going forwards over various points on the track to change direction, which is awesome. So our speed limit is 40 miles an hour. We are carrying some cargo. We don't want to go crazy, I think. I don't know. Pretty cool. And around we go. Let's jump into the cabin view here. Have I got a horn? It's a very quiet horn, but yes, there's a bell. Which is that working? Very faintly. I think I've gone too far. Oh my god. Stop. Oh no, I didn't. Speed limit changed. My bad. So I can increase my speed here to 35 miles an hour, and then my next speed limit in a quarter of a mile is 50. Nice river running through it. I used to commute a lot in England when I lived there. I had an hour and a half commute each way, so to and from work every day, which I took the train for. And I grew quite fond of the train. That sound is quite soothing. I remember many a early morning start falling asleep on the train. But I wouldn't say I'm a train nut. But it is fun, you know. And now I find with one of the startups I'm working with, I'm traveling down to Orlando twice a week, and I'm using the train here, which is my first experience on an American train. And actually, since I started playing trains this past week, I've found when I get off the real train, I kind of want to recreate that route and see if I can sim it, because that's what simming's all about, right? So the sim bug in this, the sim aspect of this, is starting to take hold of me and excite me a little bit about the possibilities, which is great. That means it's a good sim, I think. It's certainly a fun experience anyway. Let's go to the outside view. I don't know how far we got to go. Now, red and green, there is another thing which tells you what red and green means, and I can't remember. I'm sure it's vitally important. Even so, let's pick up some speed. I think this is our destination. Up ahead. We're going to park there, and that's the end of the training mission, and it will be the end of this video as well. So if you are heavily into the trains, and I know some of you are, Trains with an S, what do you think of this? Have you guys who are really into the train sims taken a look at Trains with a Z or a Z? Or have you spurned it in disgust that it doesn't do the things you want it to do? And if so, what are those things? I'm curious. Is that not my end point? No, maybe not. I started slowing down a little bit too prematurely. And again, this train seems to slow to a halt very rapidly. So I tend to brake a little bit too early. Next speed limit in a third of a mile is only 30 miles an hour, so we will start slowing down again. Even with the simplified controls, I'm really doing terribly at this. Come on, up you get. A bit more speed. There's another train, look. One of the AI trains. If that was multiplayer, this is the point at which you would see your friend and go, I can see you! And then that's it. For about 4 hours. Bye. Bye-bye. It was good to see you. That's cool, though. Adds a bit of life to the world, you know? Alright, I'm at 28 miles an hour. My speed limit is now 30. I'm good. I'm not breaking any limits. I am slowing down again, though. I don't really know why. This 10-minute mission is going way more than 10 minutes because Froogle can't drive. Oh, we're going that way. Oh, this is it. We're going into the lumberyard, I think, on the right-hand side, if I'm correct. Yes. That's where we need to go. And obviously there are missions and training sessions where you can couple and uncouple cars, consists, whatever they're called. We're going that way, good. And then we're going to stop in here. Just gentle control of the speed here. Look at the smoke as we go inside here. Oh, it just vanished. Good, show me a liar. Call me a liar, that's awesome. Normally the smoke would billow outside realistically. There you go, you can see it coming out now. Kinda. Nah, it did call me a liar. It just went through the roof. Whatever. Did I stop too late? The lumber is being delivered to Miso 58 Traction SA on the siding to the rear of your train marked by the unload nav point. Great. Switch this junction over. So we're going to switch this that way. And then we're going to back up. Beep, beep, beep. Here we go. And we're going to go and unload our lumber. So again, I can't really tell you if you are heavily into model trains or real trains. I can't really tell you whether this is good or bad. What I can tell you is that from the point of view of somebody like me who loves sims but isn't into trains, it's a lot of fun. It's quite engrossing. Again, there are bits which are quite jarring, like the model fidelity, switching between the older models to the newer. But overall, it is a challenge. And I think another aspect of simming in general is the challenge. There we go, we've done it, we completed this tutorial. So if you are not heavily into trains but are somewhat curious, you're train curious, then Trainz with a Z or a Z might be well worth checking out. As always, my name is Froogle. Thank you so very much for enduring me during this video, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye.